lawyer. Inside were pages and pages of questions I had to answer under oath. They wanted every detail about Pia's medical care for the past 3 years. They asked for receipts and bills and treatment records. They wanted to know about my income and expenses, and whether I'd tried to get help from other family members. The questions felt like attacks dressed up in legal language. They even asked if I'd been drinking or using drugs during Pia's illness. They wanted to know if I'd followed all the doctor's orders perfectly. Each question felt designed to make me look like a bad mother. I spent 3 days working on the answers with Winifred's help. We had to dig through boxes of medical records and bank statements. Every receipt brought back memories of that specific day in the hospital. I found the parking stub from the day Pia's kidneys first failed. I found the receipt for the stuffed animal I bought her after her first dialysis session. By the time we finished gathering everything they wanted, I couldn't get out of bed for 3 days. The memories came flooding back so hard I couldn't breathe. Rhea called me when I missed our regular appointment and stayed on the phone for 2 hours. She helped me work through the panic attacks and reminded me this was part of the process. She said my parents were trying to break me down so I'd give up. A week later, Rosanna's article appeared in the local paper. She didn't use our names, but wrote about a case where grandparents had hidden a kidney match from their grandchild. She interviewed doctors about how verification systems in hospitals could fail. She talked to ethicists about family members interfering with medical decisions. Anyone who knew us would recognize the story immediately. The article spread online and got picked up by bigger news sites. My phone started ringing with calls from reporters wanting more details. I didn't answer any of them. The article led to 3 families reaching out to me through social media. One woman's sister had blocked her from getting a bone marrow transplant for her son. Another family's in-laws had hidden medical information that could have saved their daughter. A man wrote about his parents lying to doctors about his wife's medical history. We started meeting once a month at a coffee shop downtown. We shared our stories and cried together and tried to figure out how people who were supposed to love us could do such terrible things. The group grew to 8 families within 2 months. Winifred scheduled depositions for my parents the following month. She sent me the transcripts afterward, even though she warned me not to read them right away. I couldn't help myself and opened the files on my laptop. My father's deposition was 40 pages long. On page 23, he admitted he thought Dilly didn't deserve to help our family after what she'd done. He said she'd broken trust and shouldn't get to play hero. He actually used the word hero like saving Pia's life would have been some kind of performance. I ran to the bathroom and threw up. My mother's deposition was even worse. She kept saying she was protecting the family from Dilly's toxic influence. She said letting Dilly donate would have given her a permanent connection to us that we couldn't escape. She actually believed she was being righteous by keeping Dilly away. She said Pia would have been confused by having Dilly back in our lives. She said it would have been harmful to Pia's emotional development. She never once mentioned Pia's physical suffering or the fact that she died. The bankruptcy lawyer I met with explained that medical debt could be wiped out, but funeral expenses couldn't. I owed $12,000 to the funeral home that I'd never be able to pay. I filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy and felt like a complete failure. On top of losing Pia, I was now officially broke and ruined. The bankruptcy would follow me for years. Finally, mediation day arrived, and I walked into a conference room at the courthouse. My parents were already sitting on the other side of a long table with their lawyer. They looked older and smaller than I remembered. Their clothes hung loose like they'd lost weight. I felt nothing but cold focus looking at them. Winifred sat down next to me and pulled out a thick folder while their lawyer started talking about how my parents wanted to put this behind them and move forward as a family. The insurance company representative cleared his throat and